Hey guys, Steve here from Belt of Truth Ministries, and I'm standing here with Pastor Bob. And Pastor Bob, I got a question for you. Same question I'm asking a bunch of guys, but if you could give one piece of advice to a guy that's struggling with pornography or sexual addiction, what would you say?
Well, that's easy. A lot of times the advice that we get is to surround yourself with a lot of accountability. And I don't know about you, Steve, but accountability's never worked perfectly for me personally. I can always find a way around it. And so I think the first thing that I need to do is to find out what it's going to take for me to be honest and true to myself. And, for me to say that this isn't going to be a problem in the future is to be dishonest to me. I realize that God created me with sexual desire. It's always going to be there. I'm always going to struggle with it. The Bible tells us that it's a gift, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way, especially when it comes to porn and some of those things that really aren't so much sexuality and are a little more addictive. And I've always found that the thing that works for me the most, and I have to be honest, I've never been addicted to pornography. Not that it doesn't look attractive, but the thing that helps me the most is what I call fighting the battle before the battle. If I am honest with myself and I say, I realize that this is something, when I encounter it, that's going to be difficult for me, I need to already have a battle plan in mind. And that battle plan is, what am I going to do and how am I going to react? The Bible says to flee those things that are not good for me. And the Greek word there is run away as fast as you can. And so what am I going to do that's going to give me those kinds of legs to run as fast as I can? And honestly, it's to be prepared for it and to know exactly what I need to do when the situation occurs. I think sometimes, Steve, we have this idea that when we're finished fighting a particular battle, that the battle's not going to happen anymore. That we're going to get to this place where we just don't struggle. And especially when we get through a struggle, we feel like, wow, that's great. That's over. And that's the biggest lie that we can tell ourselves. The truth is, we're always going to struggle. It's always going to be a difficult time. And if I don't have a plan in place, then I'm going to fall. So let's talk about that plan for a minute. When I say fight the battle before the battle, I mean I need to plan for the battle when it happens. And so that what I do at that point becomes automatic. When I'm working on my computer and all of a sudden one of those pages comes up that leads to a porn site, or I'm driving down the road and, billboards these days, dude. It's amazing what you can get away with on a billboard. And those things are attractive to us sexually. So what do I do when I encounter that? How do I react when that comes up on my computer? The first thing, if I program myself, is that I turn it off quickly. The second thing, if I can't do that, I shut it down and walk away quickly. I realize that I have to have a response at the point where it's a problem as quickly as I can and as automatically as I can. And, Steve, for me, that's been the greatest thing, is to fight the battle before the battle, because when the battle comes, I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to run with it, and I'm ready to go another direction. And for me, that's been very successful.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Pastor Bob. I think that's great advice, and I appreciate you taking that time to share it with us. Thanks.
Thank you. A pleasure.